Hey everyone, it's Nikki. Welcome back. I have these little felt gingerbread men that I got at the Dollar Tree last Christmas, and I'm going to start off by drawing their faces and making stitch marks all around the sides. Now I'm going to paint these half wooden beads that I got from Amazon, the color black. Once they're dry, I'm going to glue them down using Aleene's tacky glue. I got this rickrack, well, that's a hard word to say, while thrifting. I'm going to use that as my faux icing. So I was not happy with how their little eyes look, so I end up coloring them in. You'll see me doing this here. I do like how they look now. Now I'm using a small paintbrush and a nail dotting tool to add the details to their eyes, and I'm using some white chalk paint. For their little cheeks, I'm going to use Distress ink and the color Worn Lipstick. I'm going to use some instant coffee mixed in with some cinnamon, and I'm going to use this Grunge coffee podge that I made, and I'm going to brush over the coffee podge first, and then I'm going to make them all a little different. I'm going to make this one quite grungy because I want it to look like a messy little boy, and you'll see what I'm doing, but I go back and forth a little bit with the coffee podge and the mixture of ground coffee with the cinnamon, and I'm going to go back and forth a little bit and use my embossing gun lightly because I don't want to ruin my felt, but just go back and forth. You don't have to make them as grungy. I do go back in with a paint marker and just kind of bring back those lines a little bit, but you could totally skip this step altogether if that's not what you want to do. I'll put down in the comments how I made the coffee podge, just so you know if you want to make some. I'm using my paint marker to add little lines to the cheeks. I think this just adds to the primitive look that I typically go for, and I do want these to look primitive. If this is your first time stopping by my channel today, I'm really glad that you're here. I hope that you like this content and will stick around for a little bit and see what I have coming up for you, and I want everyone to feel welcome here. I'm going to use the back of this Dollar Tree sign, and I'm going to remove the hanger and take this cardstock that's also Christmas theme and cut it to fit, and then I'm just going to glue it down using a glue stick. Real easy. As you can see, my paper didn't fit and I had a hard time getting a piece to match. So you won't even see that here in a second, because I'm going to take this burlap and I'm going to cut a piece for each side and wrap it around the back and glue it using some hot glue. If you want to finish the back of this, you could. I'm not worried about it. This is just a real quick, simple, cheap project. It didn't cost me but a few dollars to make, so I'm just going with it. I added bows to the two little girls, and I'm just going to arrange them and my little boy where I want to place them before gluing them. I think I mentioned earlier that they were felt, but no, they're foam, and I'm being careful not to use too much hot glue because I don't want my glue to melt them. I'm taking this scrap fabric that I had left over, and I had dyed it previously with some coffee. I'm just going to cut it to fit this little roll-in pin that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going to use a little bit of hot glue and glue that down, roll it up, and glue it some more. That way I can repurpose this roll-in pin down the road, and I'm going to distress it using some distress ink in the color Walnut Stain, I believe is what it is. And I'm going to take some black soot distress ink for the handles. I'm going to wrap it with some twine and take some Excelsior and some greenery and tie that in with my twine. Lastly, I'm going to use this beautiful red chiffon ribbon, tie it in a little bow, and glue that down to my roll-in pin. I'm just going to glue this to the top of my sign, and that's it. I'm real happy with how this turned out. I think it's super adorable. It only cost me a couple dollars to make, and yeah, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Send me a comment down below so I know, and I'd love it if you'd subscribe and stick around and be a part of my little YouTube community. Until the next time, guys, bye.